exhausting week with all the terrorizing and hijacking that went on. Sammy, you got to admit, it's tiring to terrorize and hijack and do all that stuff, okay? You know, my man Sammy is here. My name's Steven Cruiser. We like to call this little enterprise Cruiser Control.
Yeah.
Something tells me this could become the full-time kickoff segment here at Cruiser Control. Guess what, kids? It's not just me anymore. It's weird seeing me with not as much hair. I can't tell which one I like better right now. I'm having a weird hair day anyway. Lawrence O'Donnell and Ariana Huffington spent several minutes on the White People Are Us network trying to bore each other to death while waiting for their Superman to give a campaign speech. The always fickle Madam Huffington seems to have lost that loving feeling.
And what is so sad is this man who moved the nation. He moved me. I think he moved you.
He did.
In 2008. I remember that Iowa primary, one of the most moving nights in my life.
Absolutely.
And to hear him now, and you know, it's laughable.
That's what happens when you vote for a president who can move you instead of the economy, Sammy, by the way, okay? He moved me. Do you remember? It was like the politics of Oprah. That's how he got elected, because everybody's going, oh my God, I saw it. Oprah, he made me cry. What do you like about him politically? This time he made me a puppy and everything. Oh. Vote for a guy that says something next time, and you won't have all this buyer's remorse, okay? Listen to me. I know things. It's official. This is going to become a recurring segment on the show now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for, and I want to preface this by saying, we don't mean this in the violent way, bashing Bashir.
You're saying that they're delusional about the past and adamant about the future.
They're adamant about achieving something that's unachievable, which reminds us of a couple of things. It reminds us of delusion and psychosis. It reminds us of addiction.
Yeah, you just heard that on TV. Okay, the already thoroughly crazy Bashir, who's really stepping up, by the way. We were discussing this before the show. He's really stepping up as the Primetime Loon over on MSNBC. And that's a tough thing to do when you've got Lawrence O'Donnell, Chris Matthews, and now the Rev Al stuff. But Bashir, so he brings on to discuss politics. This guy's telling us we can't achieve it politically. Guess what his job? He's an addiction medicine specialist. They brought in an ugly, less successful Dr. Drew to tell us why we're not a valid political movement. And they're wondering why we think they're not a valid political network. Hola, chicos y chicas. Está tingle time. Totally because I'm working on a Telemundo version of this, okay? Or Univision, whichever, I don't know. Me llamo español. That's my name. So I just said my name Spanish because I want to. I'm not even drunk, but we're going to get there before the end of the show, okay? On the same week that witnessed the return of Gabby Giffords to Congress, one of the chief New Tone lecturers after her shooting decided to lead by example.
Let me finish tonight with this bad experience we've all just been through. What we saw, what I saw at least, was one guy with a knife and the other guy trying to avoid being cut. It was a thug attacking a victim. It was a mugging. Now, the good news, the relief is a better word, I suppose, is that the victim did get through it. The bad news is that the mugger got what he wanted. He got the wallet.
I need to know. I want to pick one, okay? I'll be whichever one you want. I'll be the hijacker. I'll be the terrorist. I'll be the mugger. I can't be all of them at once because I have things to do, okay? Football's back on, and there's fantasy football to deal with, and I can't do all of them at once, Chris, all right? So get back. Call me. All right, Chris? Tweets of the week. Twitter.com/Steven Cruiser. You follow me, tell me to follow you back, and I will, but make sure you have an avatar uploaded because I don't like the plain egg generic things, okay? Because then I think you're a spammer, and every Friday night.
Drunk tweeting.
Tonight, maybe mildly buzz tweeting. That's about all, because Cruiser Kid's back in town. I can't just sit around. Daddy needs to be hammered for Twitter. Okay, we can't do that. Tweet number one. Sorry, sometimes I get happy in my pants when I have to wear them. Now that the debt ceiling has been raised, what fake crisis will our elected reps use next to wrest more power for themselves? It's one of the more ironic things about the last few weeks where they keep saying that we're faking a crisis just to make all of this happen, and because the left for 20 years has been unable to pitch virtually any kind of policy without making up some sort of crisis. Your grandma's gonna die, everybody's gonna die. You had Louise Slaughter, we had a clip on the show of her going, they're just here to kill women. So Enough already. But you're right. That's how they do it. They try to scare you, and then they try to take over power, and then the regulations come, and the next thing you know, there's some weird, fuzzy Barney Frank-looking guy staring at you in the shower, okay? Tweet number 2. I know that's a subliminal thing to trigger somebody out there right now. Someone's going to hear that, and the next thing they're going to go, and they're going to go, like, tag a Prius. That's what we're trying to do. Make, would you please speak to the recent allegations that you have bionic ankles and a cast iron liver? Have no idea what this means, Sammy. Okay, I don't get the bionic ankles thing at all. I hope I can have bionic ankles soon because then I can run after my corporate jet. It's leaving without me to go Club Seal somewhere. Tweet number 3.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Game over, man. Game over. I might have actually originally uttered that in that way. Why is Paul Krugman the Nobel Prize-winning economist rather than the Nobel Prize-winning Enron advisor? Because to be a Democrat means you have to pretend you don't know any of the wealthy people who you've been getting money from all these years. That's the way they do it over there, okay? Barack Obama has gotten money from the Koch brothers. He was one of the biggest corporate donatees in the last election cycle. And of course, Paul Krugman was an Enron guy for a long time, an advisor on their board, writing these glowing things about them, and then as soon as the trouble hit everything over there, he started writing these Enron hit pieces and conveniently forgetting that he was once actually an Enron advisor. Just it's called, I like to call it progressive amnesia. That's what they have. They have progressive amnesia. That's why Barack Obama can leave the golf course and then start screaming about the wealthy. Website, StephenCruiser.com. You go find out upcoming appearances, find out the email address where you can send us clips and suggest we're podcasting, blogging again, and the bonus clips are up this week. We got Marco Rubio's smackdown from the Senate floor last week, which is awesome. We have a full clip that you're going to see part of in a second here, but it's worth watching. And I got a link to this thing I'm going to talk about in a minute towards the end of the show. Okay, so go, enjoy. And commenting. We missed Ellen this week. Ellen, please come back, okay? I miss you calling me stupid and all the other things, all right? We need her back. Okay? But the winning comments, PJTV t-shirt, personally delivered by Sammy. He goes to your house. On a bicycle, wearing fancy shorts. Fancy boy shorts. This week's comment from Brianiac, but that's not a misspelling. That's the way you spell it. Okay. Yo, Steven, nice vid of Bill Maher all bunched up. Funny how they freeze up like the Ice Age during the Carter administration. Remember global freezing? When you use their logic against them. And that's why that was the comment winner, because they brought in global freezing, which, Sammy, you're a little younger. I don't know if you know, but that was supposed to kill us in the 70s. There was going to be global freezing, and now it's global warming, and then next year it's going to be global nice weather. They're going to go global good beach day. It's going to kill you because you're going to be too happy. And then you're going to get bored. And we're all going to start killing each other because global happy beach day. Okay? Devoted viewers, it's now time to see who gets this week's all-access pass into the Circle of Dumb. I just took a first close look at the Olbermann Photoshop on there, and it's even creepier than the actual Olbermann is. Shower time. Okay, we had a tight runoff this week between Paul Krugman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and crazy Uncle Joe Biden. And the winner is... by one vote. Over Krugman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Here, the DNC chairwoman gives us a glimpse deep into the fairy tale that Democrats are telling themselves about how super-duper awesome everything is.
We're going to focus on what we know is the number one priority on Americans' minds right now, and that is creating jobs and continuing to get this economy turned around. And if we have to drag the Republicans with us, then we'll do that. Continuing to get this economy turned around. That was Wednesday evening. Thursday morning, the stock market went Acapulco cliff diving, okay? That's how well they're focusing on continuing to get this fairy tale, and then the unicorn, and then John Maynard Keynes, and it was on the unicorn. Not Barack Obama. Barack Obama doesn't even get to ride on the unicorn anymore, okay? Because he's kicking his can down the road and eating peas. Excuse me. And then, of course, the jobs thing came out today, and the jobs, they added some jobs, but so many people stopped looking for work, it was a net loss of like 20,000. So that's how well you're handling the economy. 2012 is coming. Elections have consequences. None you're going to be here. Okay, now, are we done with that? Okay. Are you happy? Sammy's looking at me like my fly just came down by itself. Usually he's like moving around. He's over there right now.
He's hungry. That's Sammy's supposed to be working here and everything, and the only thought in his head right now is food. When does Cats bring donuts in again? Food. To the anonymous commenter who said this is what made the week, it's time to peel this onion, cry a little, and take a look at the last piece of my mind. Big week over here in right-wing nutjobville. You know why? I wrote a piece over at Big Journalism that you should all go see. It's in the bonus clips post today, too. Talks about the fact that we have taken the narrative away from the progressives, and that is what they're really mad about right now. They're not mad about the details of this debt ceiling debate. They're not mad about any of it. They're mad because they have been able to create political realities that aren't real for decades now. All they have to do is put out a talking point, let the media run with it, and then it turns into something that it really isn't. And we haven't let them do that this time. The Tea Party people kept going, and we were annoying about it. And it got to be contentious even on our side because we had to be, but we stuck with it. And what you've witnessed this week is the power of ordinary Americans getting involved in their government, getting involved in voting, getting involved in just getting off their couches and doing something, and it is delicious. It was one of the most awesome things I've ever seen, and it's given me hope for this country again because everybody isn't just rolling over and letting the big, bad, monstrous media machine take over, okay? I was going to start to yell again, but I'm really I'm in a good mood. I thought that what happened this week was awesome. I think you guys are awesome. I thank you for being here, and now I want you, let's call this a little bit of projection from the last piece of producer Mark's mind.
Across the United States, though, where we show Jimmy Carter's states that he's won in red, you see there aren't many there, just 6 of them altogether. And for Reagan, well, it's a different story. They're shown in blue, and this country is almost solidly in the Reagan colors tonight.